Was he always dancing? Because I don't think I knew.
No, he
until
came
a bit
in at
later.
about when he was about 13, and he said, "I'm doing hip hop." And I said, "What's hip hop?" I didn't even know what it was at the time. So he said, "I've started to do these classes down in Spears." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because I didn't know Rook across the road is going." He fancied her at the time.
Ah.
So he was going for
Charming.
ages. And then they had a show one night, and we said, "Oh, we'll go down and have a look and see." And I thought, like, he's really good at this. You know when you see someone putting so much effort into something and it doesn't really look great?
Yeah.
He just
And you're like,
had it.
bless.
Yeah,
You're great
yeah.
at what you're doing in your show.
He just had it. Like,
But
he used
he
to
had.
just be dancing and he'd be like, this wouldn't even be thinking, you know, and he just had it. And from then he just kept dancing all the time, and then he was doing competitions, and then he ended up in Hollywood Academy.
Yeah.
And then he ended up opening his own place.
Yeah.
And then there was just no more here that he could do. And
Yeah,
went
he
away
kind
then.
of reached his limit,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
he? And I suppose for a lot of artistic people in Ireland anyway, you know, whether it's actors or dance, I think particularly for dancers, it's so
very hard.
limited.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're just running your own school and you're
Yeah.
happy to that indefinitely, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know. Do you miss him loads being over in LA?
Every single day.
Do you?
Every single day. I wish with all my heart he was home, but I wouldn't want him to be home here.
No.
No. There's nothing for him here.
No.
Like, he has a great life over there. And
It so suits him.
yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it does. He was born to be in America, born to live there, like, I think, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah. He always had itchy feet, and I always knew he was going to go away, but I didn't want it to happen. But for him, and the fact that he's happy, I'm happy for him. But
Yeah.
he was only gone 6 weeks, and I was out of the house one day, and I came home, and they were ringing me, say, where are you? And I'm like, just at the shop, what's the big deal? And they were like, oh, hurry up and come home. So I came home, and he was standing in the kitchen, and I was like, oh my God, what are you doing at home? Like, you're only 6 weeks gone and all. And he was like, oh, I just came home for a few days just to see us all and everything, you know. So it was the weekend of the launch of the Pink Panties.
Yeah, the show that
Yeah.
he and I started, and
Yeah.
he used to choreograph.
So we went to that, and it was brilliant. It was a great night, and we were all excited and so proud of him and everything. And at the end, then he came out and he said to me, "I have something to tell you." And I was like, "What? What?" You know, and he was like, "Well, I think you already know." And I just looked at him, and he didn't even actually say it. And I just said to him, "Are you gay?" And he said, "Yeah." And I bawled for Ireland. I roared crying, yeah.
Did you?
And he said, "Why are you crying? I know you're not crying because I'm gay, because I've got loads of gay friends and I love them all dearly."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I'm not crying because you're gay." Even though I didn't really, in my heart I kind of had a feeling, but I didn't really know. And if I did know, I kind of didn't want to believe it. But I just said to him, because you're my son and I love you, and life in itself is hard enough
Yeah.
without the extra pressure of being gay, especially in Ireland at the time.
Yeah.
Still, even to this day, we have a long way to go.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
he said to me, I'm okay and I'm happy, and that was part of the reason why I went away. And he said, when you come over and visit, you'll see that, and you'll see how easy it is.
How much
for me
easier it
over
is in
there.
LA.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
No, because he always had girlfriends. Always.
'cause he
had
was
the
so
most
handsome.
stunning looking girlfriends. and just girls that were friends. Like, and we used to be always saying, oh, she's lovely, I love her, why don't you go to her now? He'd be laughing. Like, I used to put condoms in his suitcase when he was going to Butlins for the competitions. And he'd ring me up and he'd say
Don't
to me,
make me laugh, I'll pee myself.
he'd ring me up and say to me, did you put something in my case before I left? And I was like, no. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you think of other people who have the fear about talking to parents, it's because
Yeah.
they've learned that along the way.
Yeah.
From other things.
Yeah.
Little or
Yeah,
things.
not necessarily because the parents don't like gay people or whatever, but it's little, like the little things that they do learn along the way and pick up on.
Yeah.
That they know, well, they're going to die if I tell them this. Like,
I know, I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And it's
And at the end of the day, he still is the same Mark. The only, like when we told Jordan,
Yeah.
he was crying. Oh, he was breaking his heart. Yeah.
This is Mark's little brother. What
Yeah,
age
he
is
was
Jordan
10
now?
at the time. He's 14 now.
Oh my God.
And I
And
think
you
he was
only
10 or
told him he
11.
was 10?
Yeah, I think he was about 10 or 11. It was Gemma said, Mum, you need to tell him, because lots of people knew at the time.
Yeah.
And he was breaking his heart crying. So Gemma went up and had a chat with him in the bedroom and all, and she came down and she said, he's all right. He's just afraid that his friends are going to jeer him.
Are going to slag Jordan.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
did they?
No, they didn't actually, no.
No.
They didn't. They were all okay. Because they all would, his friends that he palled with at the time were all kids from the road, and they all would have known Mark all their life growing up, like.
God, I never
You know,
thought
so-
of that then.
Yeah.
About
yeah,
the
so-
younger brothers
Yeah.
and sisters.
He
like-
broke his heart. He cried all day. And
Did he?
Yeah, yeah. He was very upset. And then he came
And he
down
knew
and
what
I
it
was
meant,
like,
though. He knew
yeah,
what
yeah, he
Mark
knew.
being gay meant.
Yeah, yeah. And then I had a chat with him as well, and I was saying, like, he's still your brother. He's still Mark. You know, nothing has changed. Only the fact that he's gay.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that we told him when he was only about 10 or 11 that he's kind of, it's, you know, it's old news now. And he
Is
just
it?
loves Oscar, Mark's partner. He loves him. They get on great together.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
See, depending on, maybe not depending on what area you're from actually or what school you go to, but like little kids use that term gay. You're
Yeah.
gay.
Oh, yeah.
As a slag.
Yeah.
Do you know? Oh, you're so gay.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
like,
and I used to say to him, you shouldn't be saying that. You don't even understand it. You don't know what you're talking about. And then when we told him, then it was like,
it's like, oh, shit. And did Gemma know, Mark's sister, know from the beginning as well?
Shortly after, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was just, as well, she was upset as well, like in the beginning. But then they're just pals, you know?
Bit of a shock,
Brother.
maybe.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, oh,
Actually,
what
she
does that
said to me
mean?
that, she said when she was younger, people, maybe, I don't know, but maybe some people did pick up on it. And they used to slag her saying, oh, your brother's gay and all. And
Oh,
she used
really?
to fight them and everything, saying, no, he's not.
Punch their heads in.
But,
What are you talking about my brother
she's-
like that
yeah,
for?
Yeah, but she was like that, upset in the beginning, but now she's great with him.
She
They're
would
great
have
pals.
been teenager
Yeah.
then
when she
anyway.
was 16 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. God, that's funny.
older
I
than that, even 18
really
maybe.
hadn't thought about.
It does affect the whole family, but it depends on how you deal with it as well. But
Yeah.
when I told Marty, I said, I have something to tell you. And he's like, what? And I said, Mark is gay. And he was like, Air Mark? And I said, yeah, like what other Mark would I be talking about? And he was like, I knew that. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me?
did not?
Yeah. And he said, because I thought you knew and you didn't want to tell me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he knew. He said he
He
knew.
knew?
Yeah, yeah.
And how did he know?
He just knew. Yeah. Said he just knew.
Oh, isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
And sometimes because Marty now is a strong.
He's a man's man.
Man's
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Do you know, who wouldn't,
Yeah.
who'd be like quietly strong and wouldn't say too much
Yeah.
now and they fucking know everything.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just not.
But it
towns.
never changed anything. He still loves them the very same way.
For their kids.
The saddest thing that has happened since I found out that Mark was gay was when we went to Los Angeles 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he brought us to a club on the last night that we were there. And he brought us to a big club. It was a gay club. And there was all
Marty
these-
and all?
Yeah, me and Marty, yeah.
Go on,
It was funny, actually. There was all these guys dancing on, things coming from the ceiling and everything, and a whole big dancing. And he
In
danced.
their underwear?
Oh, yeah, loads of leather stuff.
Was
and
Marty
everything,
like
yeah.
this?
He was all right, actually.
Was he?
A little bit uncomfortable, but he was all right.
Oh, brilliant. I love
But it was jam-packed, and it was a brilliant night and all. But Mark introduced us to these two guys, two lovely fellas, and straight away one of them just was so chatty and so nice and friendly. He bought us a drink and everything, and we were chatting away to him and all. And when about half an hour later, they were going to talk to meet somebody else, and one of them came over and gave me a big hug, and he said, "I wish you were my mum." And I was like, "Why?" And he said, "Because my parents don't even know I'm gay."
Oh.
And he said, "I just wish everybody that was gay, I wish their parents were like you." And I just felt so sad for him.
Bless.
Like, he was probably about 28 at the time.
And did he feel like he couldn't tell them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I just wanted to bring him home and mind him.
You didn't have to make any sort of conscious decision about it. It was just like, there's my son. This is just new information about my son.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I want him to be okay. I want him to be able to
Yeah.
come to me.
That was just the main thing. The fact that, I wanted him to be all right, to be happy,
Yeah.
more so than anything. And even now I tell him, like, oh, mind yourself and all, like, but as long as he's happy, that's the main thing.
You'd be
It doesn't
telling
matter
him
what
that
he is.
straight or gay. Anyway,
Yeah.
mind yourself.
Yeah.
And I want you to be happy,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You take away my breath, relieve me of my better sense. I fear that I might lose myself in you. And so the story goes the same old way with different foes. Demons knocking at my door with poison fruit held in their